What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it looks like undefeated, unified three-belt WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Errol the True Spence Jr., Errol Spence Jr., 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, is possibly going to face his WBA, World Boxing Association's welterweight star Lithuanian title contender, Eimantas Stanionis. 14 wins, no losses, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. Eimantas Stanionis is 28 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, okay? Eimantas Stanionis is the WBA regular champion. He is also the mandatory for Errol Spence's WBA title that Errol Spence picked up from former WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Keep in mind, Eimantas Stanionis was already Yordenis Ugas' mandatory for that fight, and Yordenis Ugas, lost the belt. They allowed Yordenis Ugas to pay Stanionis step aside money, and Yordenis Ugas to unify the belts against Errol Spence Jr. But the WBA president Gilberto Mendoza, they were pushing to have this fight with Stanionis versus Yordenis Ugas. They allowed Yordenis Ugas to go ahead and unify against Errol Spence with the hopes that Yordenis Ugas, Errol Spence winner, fights Eimantas Stanionis. Obviously, Errol Spence stopped Yordenis Ugas in the 10th round in the fight, breaking his nose, ribs, and orbital bone, okay? Now, Errol Spence obviously was pegged to face off against his biggest rival in the biggest fight in the sport of boxing currently, the welterweight undisputed mega showdown between himself and undefeated former 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. That fight is not going to happen as they could not come to an agreement. Terrence Crawford, he will be facing off against David Avanesian December 10th in Omaha, Nebraska in a homecoming fight. As it's being stated that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford could possibly face off in the early part of 2023. Okay, so it's looking like PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, have secured AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium once again for Errol Spence to showcase his talents, possibly December 3rd, or it could be December 17th. Now, obviously, the NFL, National Football League, is back in the full swing of things, and obviously that stadium was built for the Dallas Cowboys, okay, who will be they will be in action December 4th, okay, which is a Sunday night game. So December 3rd is a Saturday night, obviously, and December 4th is Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys are in action against the Indianapolis Colts Sunday night, okay, 8:20 at night. So they can still stage the fight Saturday, December 3rd, and it gives the stadium and everybody enough time, since the Cowboys are not playing early in the afternoon and not even in the evening. They're playing at 8:20 at night. So it gives everybody a chance to reset up for the Cowboys to play. Or it could be December 17th, okay, which the Dallas Cowboys are playing in Jacksonville at the Jacksonville Jaguars December 18th, okay? So they won't even be in town at all whatsoever. Now, we know Jerry Jones, who is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys and who is the owner of AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Jerry's World, he likes to be in attendance. He's a huge fan of Errol Spence, okay? And but he can still fly back and forth as they'll be in Jacksonville, Florida, okay? So with that said, it looks like they have secured the date, and it looks like these dates have already been previously secured for possibly November, okay? So this would give Errol Spence the same amount of time. We know that Errol Spence and his team stated that they sent Terrence Crawford a revised contract, okay, that stated that they wanted to prepare for early part of 2023 showdown, right? Errol Spence is on record stating that He is not. It's not easy for him to make 147 pounds. And he's now looking to move up to junior middleweight, 154 pounds. Okay. Well, this will keep Errol Spence busy. He fought in April. He fights in December. It keeps Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence on par with one another to face one another in the early part of 2023. Right. So this is huge news, right? That also you have undefeated welterweight superstar title contender, his father, trainer, and manager, Bozy Ennis. Bozy Ennis is the trainer of undefeated superstar boxer Jaron Boots Ennis. Okay, Jaron Boots Ennis is 29 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout. Jaron Boots Ennis is 25 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. Bozy Ennis stated that they would have been willing to take the fight with Terrence Crawford for December 10th, but also they have petitioned the International Boxing Federation, IBF, and President Mr. Peoples for Jaron Ennis to be the mandatory challenger for for Errol Spence Jr. For his next fight. Now, obviously, like I said, Eugenio Ugas, he faced off against Eimantas Stanionis. He was supposed to face off against Eimantas Stanionis, but they allowed Eugenio Ugas to step aside and fight a unification bout against Errol Spence. So Errol Spence is on the hook to face off against Eimantas Stanionis, okay? So it looks like Errol Spence is going to stick around the welterweight division, although recently he stated that, he is having, it's not easy, not having trouble, but it's just not easy making 147 pounds. He's been in this division for quite some time, and he's possibly looking to move up. He only wanted to stay at the welterweight division to face off against Terrence Bud Crawford, okay? But they could not come to an agreement, okay? So Terrence Crawford, he stated he wanted to stay active, okay, since he's not been in the ring since November of 2021 when he faced off against two-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter, who's a retired future Hall of Famer. Okay, so Terrence Crawford, he did not want to wait on the shelf until the early part of 2023. He wanted to stay active. He did not want to have that long layoff going into the biggest fight of his career against Errol Spence Jr. Okay, and obviously Errol Spence, he wants to stay active. They both have been relatively inactive for different reasons. Okay, in the last 3 years now. Okay, in 2020, Terrence Crawford fought once against Kell Brook. 2021, he fought once against Showtime Sean Porter. So that would mean going into 2023, Terrence Crawford would not have fought more than 2 times in a 3-year span. And the same goes for Errol Spence. He suffered a horrific car accident after his unification bout September of 2019. He was out the ring for 14 months. He came back December 5th of 2020 against Danny Swift Garcia, 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer. And then he was going to fight August of 2021 against 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence was scheduled to face off, but Errol Spence suffered a serious eye injury, a broken or detached retina, okay, which saw Errol Spence have to pull out the fight, which saw Eugenio Ugas replace Errol Spence, or Eugenio Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao, and then Errol Spence beat Eugenio Ugas, right? So Errol Spence has fought Eugenio Ugas and Danny Garcia since suffering that horrific car accident. That was October of 2019, right? So both have been relatively inactive, and both are obviously getting older. So that's the fight that the world want to see, but it looks like it's going to happen in 2023. Massive undisputed welterweight showdown between the two, okay? They stated that they sent the revised contract back over to Terrence Crawford for 2023. Terrence Crawford, he stated that he wanted to stay active. Okay, he didn't want to wait till 2023, hence the reason he's fighting David Avanesian December 10th of this year. And if Errol Spence fights December 3rd or December 17th, it keeps them on par to face off against one another. So with that said, Jaron Boots Ennis obviously is vying for a position. He wants to get an opportunity to fight for the titles. So it looks like, Jaron Boots Ennis is possibly going to have to wait, because this was give Errol Spence the certification for his mandatory. And if Errol Spence goes into a fight with Terrence Crawford in February, March of 2023, okay, well, the winner of that fight, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, more than likely is going to vacate the belt. So I can see Jerron Boots Ennis fighting somebody in the IBF top 5. Possibly, he could possibly face off against former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman in that, for the vacant belt. Because I truly believe that the winner of Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight is going to vacate the belt. Okay. Now, seeing as though Jerron Boots Ennis has put in his petition for the IBF mandatory position, the number 2 spot is vacant. Okay, the number 3 spot is undefeated Mexican superstar title contender Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is 19 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach at 24 years of age. Okay, so Virgil Ortiz Jr. is number 2, truly in the IBF ranking system, and then you have Chua Kadavazin, who is number 3. Then you have Conor Ben, who is looks like he's going to be suspended at number 4. And then you have Keith Thurman at number 5. So Keith Thurman, 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach. He's looking for an opportunity to get to fight for his belts as well. But he's number 1 in the WBC ranking system. So Keith Thurman, he may hold off and fight, Virgil Ortiz for the vacant WBC. That will leave Jerron Boots Ennis to possibly face off against, Chua Kadazian, okay, for the vacant IBF title, okay? So it looks like to me that Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence winner, when they do fight in the early part of 2023, is going to vacate the belt, and it's going to be a mad scramble for the belt. So it looks like we're going to get Errol Spence versus Eimantas Stanionis, possibly December 3rd or possibly December 17th. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. We know Errol Spence stated that he didn't want to have any tune-ups. He wanted to have title opportunities. But since the Terrence Crawford fight didn't come to fruition, looks like he's going to have to satisfy his mandatory, or he's going to move up to junior middleweight. But it's looking like, according to reports, that PBC founder Al Heyman has contacted Eimantas Stanionis and his team to make this fight happen between Errol Spence and Stanionis. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.